G'day, how you going, alright? That's the story. Today we're going to talk about 5 bad personal habits that could destroy your business. Now look, it's surprisingly easy to destroy your business, not managing cash, not knowing how to get clients. There's heaps and heaps of ways that you can do it, and they're all fairly obvious, okay? But there are some that aren't so obvious, and they will destroy your business over time just as effectively. And these are personal bad habits. Okay. The first one is being late. Now this one is a bit of a surprise to a lot of people, but actually it's a very powerful and destructive bad habit which will bugger you up big time very quickly. Being late is a chronic disease for some business owners. They're late with their work, they're late for meetings, they're late getting in their invoices, they're just late being late. Nothing pisses off a client more than when you don't deliver or you don't turn up on time. You're an adult. Manage the circumstances. You know, if you've got the time and date wrong, apologize and reset. But just arriving late or delivering work late all the time, pretty soon you won't have to worry about the excuse, oh, I couldn't find the car park, which happens to be in exactly the same place that it was all the other times you visited the client, or whatever excuse you've got. You know why? Because you won't have to be visiting them anymore. You'll have lost them. The second is being careless about quality. Have you ever handed in some work to a client that you know wasn't your best effort and kind of passed it off with comments to yourself like, oh, they won't notice, or these days people don't worry about spelling mistakes, or, well, you know, they knew it'd be a rush job because they didn't give me enough time to do it properly, so it's all their fault. I, as the client, expect perfection every time. I expect you to stay up all night if necessary, to rewrite it countless times and to use Grammarly or Ginger or Reverso or Grammar Checker. Send it to your mum who's good on crosswords. I don't care. Just get it 100% right. A spelling mistake sticks out like the proverbial dog's balls, like a great neon sign that says, I don't care enough to check my stuff. There is no excuse for this. Number 3 is gossiping about clients and competitors to anybody else. Look, the world is a very, very small place. One of my former wives was dating a guy in New Zealand before we met, and they were talking about places in London that they'd lived. She's English, okay? Long story short, they had both lived in the same bedroom in a flat in London 5 years apart, okay? Whoa. So you never know who knows who. Your commercial relationships are really important and they need to be secure. That means not gossiping about how late they are to pay you or what a dick the client is, how you're charging an absolute fortune for something they could get for half the price but they're too stupid to know. You've heard of 6 degrees of separation, right? Where theoretically everyone in the world is connected through knowing someone who knows someone who knows someone who, you get the picture, right? And believe me, bad or gossipy news travels down the wires faster than the speed of light. As Winston Churchill almost said, gossip travels halfway around the world before truth has got its pants on. Number 4 is a very old one, and it's called lying. Yep, some business owners lie to their clients. It's shocking, eh? And sometimes they get away with it, but sooner or later, the truth comes out. And the thing is that things come apart really, really easily when they've been held together with lies. Lying is not a glue that holds a business together. And lying not only impacts what's been said as the truth, which was actually a lie, but it actually impacts on every communication into the future. When a client finds out that you've lied, whether it's about the origin of the work you presented, you know, done by someone else at the last minute, or telling them that you checked on a particular thing, which is really important, but you hadn't, or telling them that you have this or that qualification and you don't, or that you've done some work for this or that client and you haven't, then something changes in your relationship. Look, the client will understandably be upset that you lied to them, but more importantly, they'll be upset that from now on, they can't believe you. So you knew there was a serious problem with how the ad campaign was going and you knew it wasn't going to work, but you didn't tell me. You just hoped I wouldn't notice, because then you'd have to admit that your idea wasn't a good one and I've been wasting my money. And look, there's no adequate answer to the simple question, why the actual didn't you say something, if the client asks you that? It's your campaign and you're supposed to be the expert. And the last one is workaholism. I am very familiar with this one. There needs to be work-life balance, even for us as starting up businesses, because for a while you might have to dedicate more time to work, but you should never completely give up your home life. Doing this is a guaranteed way to burn out. So just as you're starting your business, the first few months can prove to be really challenging trying to set boundaries between your business and your home. The only thing going through your mind is, what do I need to do next in order to keep the business going? And it can't wait. And so many business owners, they eat poorly, they work all night on their businesses, and this is where most of us go wrong. You can't work efficiently without giving your body proper nutrition and rest. Your body gets tired, and then you have to replenish it with healthy food and get a good night's sleep every now and again to stay energized and focused for the next day. Often workaholics work when they don't need to. Many of us assume that the number of hours we work is equivalent to our production, but actually it's not true. In fact, I'd say that the less we work, the more we actually get done. And we hate delegating when we're workaholics because we think that whoever we give it to will just screw it up, so it's better to do it ourselves. Now, this is really destructive behavior, and it will result in us causing our businesses to fail because we'll just get burned out. Look, don't be fooled. Workaholism actually is an addiction. Now, despite all those cultural standards that say, yeah, 70 hour, 80 hour, 90 hour weeks, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. Workaholism is real, and it takes a real toll on the personal lives and the families of those who suffer from having somebody who is a workaholic. But working compulsively could be the symptom of a greater problem, and often it is. It's actually not the cause. Like any other addiction, workaholism doesn't exist on its own. It's symptomatic of something larger, something that lies beneath the surface of your work. That something might be a difficult relationship that you want to go to work rather than participate in the relationship, but it also could be a traumatic event like a previous business failure, or even a mental health challenge that you haven't addressed yet about some kind of obsessive behavior. If you find yourself working obsessively, please get help, okay? There are counselors who specialize in this process addiction, and they can help you get to the root cause of your workaholism. Just telling people to switch off the laptop, switch off the phone, leave the tablet at home, the beeper, the watch, and all the other tools which help us to feed our addiction, or you just go and take a weekend off, go and play golf. Don't call staff after 11 o'clock at night, or in my case, before 3 o'clock in the morning. It actually doesn't work. Like any addiction, you need to identify the root causes and unlearn some bad habits and learn some new ones. I know whereof I speak. I wrecked a marriage and I lost my kids for years because all they ever saw me do was work. And I can never get that precious time back when they were young and I was their world as their dad. It's my biggest regret. Now I'm taking time out, I schedule golf, I smell the roses, I'm learning new recipes, I'm making pasta, and I've built much better relationships with my kids and my lovely former wife. But I know that if I'm not alert to my underlying addiction to working all the time, I'll slip back really, really quickly, and I'll wreck new relationships and I'll wreck my life all over again. And you know what? I'm a bit old for that. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe. It'll help support the channel. And if there's anything you'd like for me to talk about, drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that bell icon and be a part of the notification squad to get notified every time we upload, because I respond to questions within the first hour. I'll see you in the next video and catch you later.